Beautiful nowhere. So we're headed to our survivalist training, and this is my friend Darcy Stevens driving.
Hi.
So we're near the Arkansas and Missouri state line. We're getting ready to go meet our survivalist instructors.
Hey ladies, welcome to America's Survival Co. Base Camp. How are you doing? My name is BJ.
Nice to meet you.
My name is BJ Latta Jr., but people call me BJ. I've been in the woods all my life. I've worked with Matt Tate at American Survival Co. as a lead instructor for about 3 years. I grew up in the Cherokee Nation, this little town called Stillwell, Oklahoma. I literally grew up since about 4th grade in a one-room log cabin. So we hunted and we sourced our own meat, chickens, rabbits, all this. So growing up was just a part of life. But all of a sudden, something happened in America where this way of life that I lived becomes something other people wanted. And so now there's a place where people want to learn these skills. You know, a lot of things that Native American people do out of necessity.
What's the scenario that you're going to be teaching us?
So our school, we're not trying to teach people how tough we are or how tough you can be. We just want to give people the knowledge and the skills that, number one, First Nations people have possessed thousands of years ago. And number two, it's some skills that make you feel safe whenever you are in a very dangerous environment.
The shelter, water, fire, those are kind of the three first primary things, the fundamental foundation that really anybody who's going to be spending time in the outdoors should have. So we'll cover those.
I'm excited. Yeah, let's do it.
You ready to go and go for a tour?
Yeah.
Let's go. One reason fire is such an essential skill is because fire can be its own shelter. If you can feed that fire wood, you will not die of exposure because it'll keep your body temperature at a level that hypothermia cannot set in. So these are the 4 basic parts to a bow drill fire. It's just a simple machine. Fireboard, the spindle, the bow, and the handhold.
So we would make these with our knife that we have with us.
Right.
So never leave home without a knife.
Don't ever leave home without it.
All right, ladies, who's going first?
Jen's going first.
Okay.
Go first.
Okay. You just keep swinging naturally. Just a little faster. There you go. Watch the end of that bow.
Oh, I see smoke.
Yay!
Does she have a coal?
Maybe.
Please.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Oh, I can see it.
Kind of whiffing it there.
So I'm gonna take your bird's nest. And it's still burning.
So you just dumped it in the middle of the nest.
You notice he's kind of tacoing it slowly and gently around it, giving it oxygen. And if you watch, he's gonna start, there you go. He's gonna have fire coming out.
Wow. That was pretty fast.
Fire.
Burn your eyebrows off, man. But now that we got this part of the course taken care of, you want to see what a overnight shelter would look like that would sustain you for 4 or 5 days? We would probably build one of these, but this would take about 5 man-hours to get to the stage it's at now. Even though these are cut with a saw, you could build this without a saw or a knife. You just would break limbs. All you want these to do is support the debris you would pile on top of it, which would be about 1 foot. You could get in and lay down and see how soft it is, Darcy.
Okay.
You ready to spend the night there? Could you do it if you had to?
I think I could do it if I had to. I'm terrified of spiders, but I don't think it would be a factor
At that
if
point.
my life depended on it.
Yeah.
This is my drama.
So let me say something. Darcy definitely is nervous about spiders. So people would give her a hard time, but in a real survival situation, being nervous like that could cause you to make big mistakes. Snakes, spiders, wolves, whatever, right?
This is actually pretty comfortable.
But now get out and just lay on the ground. Try that out and see. Now you can really tell how cold the ground is.
Oh yeah, I can already feel it.
Sometimes just sitting, watching the sunset or the birds fly can be very therapeutic, you know what I'm saying? And for me, it's just my place. At one time, this was the only thing I could do as a kid. I didn't have nothing else to do, so it's so much a part of me that it makes me feel like a kid again, you know? So when you're out here playing with sticks and making forts and, you know, playing in the creek, and that's what you did as a kid, but now it's a legitimate skill that I have and I can teach others, and so that makes it all the better.
should work good here, B.
Yeah, this is a real good spot right here. You know, this water looks real pristine, especially here or down how clear it is, but definitely do not want to drink straight from a stream source. So we're going to teach you a very simple way that you can minimize the risks of getting dirty water. This is not going to be 100% guaranteed, but it's going to bring your risk factor down to a very minimum edge for Giardia and Cryptosporidium.
All right, let's do it. You ready to get your workout?
Let's do it.
There you go.
We may have to trade off. I'm tired already. Just kidding.
The deeper she's digging, the cleaner the ground is, right? And also that water is going to have an opportunity to be cleaner because it's filtering itself.
Okay, you should come look and see what this water looks like now, because it doesn't look like it's gonna be drinkable.
It is very drinkable.
Yeah, it'll turn out pretty clear.
So we'll come back to this?
Yeah,
Come
we'll
back
let
to
this
this.
stand for about 10 minutes, and while that's doing its thing, we'll go check out some more
Yeah, we
plants.
can do a plant walk.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys, we'll show you a few medicinal plants. Here's one that's really common, can be found all over the U.S. especially. This is your common mullein, or the Cherokees call it rabbit's cabbage.
I can see why.
Yeah.
It's it looks like a tobacco leaf. It's real furry. It can be used for anywhere, something like nature's toilet paper, but the real medicinal use is you would dry this and smoke it like tobacco, right? It helps your bronchial tubes, helps inflammation.
Even treating asthma with it,
Yeah.
anything with the upper respiratory system.
Oh, it looks a little more clear on the top.
Huh?
Yeah.
You can see some of the rocks at the bottom.
That's very drinkable. And I would rather do that 1,000,000 times than drink out of that once. It tastes gritty.
Tastes like water.
It wasn't as gritty as you thought, huh?
No, it's not gritty at all, actually. I mean, it literally just tastes like bottled water.
You're right.
Well, thanks for teaching us. I've learned so much. It kind of changes your perspective on things. So,
Absolutely.
you know, when I look at that, what I would call a weed in my garden, I might look at it differently now. And
Yeah.
What I learned is that nature isn't your enemy. It's just the lack of knowledge that's your enemy. So,
Yeah, that's good. And that's it. That's what makes us safer in any situation in life, is just being well informed.
we survived.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
See y'all.